Hey guys, we're back working on the Y-Wing again. Today we're going to be doing the panel line wash for it. So let's get right into it. Gone and made up a mixture of Model Masters and thinner. And just start picking out details, especially up here in some of the more busy areas. Now I have tried using artist artist oils for this, but to be perfectly honest, um, I've really never had super lot of luck getting them to work right. I don't know if it's just the ones I'm using are the really cheap kind or what. Now, I'm being pretty liberal with the application here, as ultimately admit some of this is going to get wiped up and cleaned up. So at this point, I'm more interested in making sure I get everything than getting it exactly perfect. Plus, since you have such a large area to cover with all this, it does help for getting this done a little quicker. Plus, since we still have the underside, we can probably also get that cleaned up, get this top side cleaned up once we finish with the underside. Okay. And as I said, I'm just at this stage just trying to make sure I get all the little details picked out. Okay. I'm gonna move something on my desk, make it a little easier to, or a little more comfortable for me to do this. And when doing this, it's in general a good idea to try to keep your paint as thin as possible, because you can always come back in and, add to it and just build the layering up. Okay, let's get this backside. I do apologize, it's been so long since then the stream for this. It's just have not been trying to focus on this project for a while. It's just been busy with other things. Yeah, that's looking really nice. As far as coloring, I'm just going with straight flat black, as figured that be best for bringing out depth. Plus, if you have seen the movies a lot, Y-Wing's supposed to be the old workhorse, so they're going to be dirtier, more beat up. So you'd expect more grime and the like to have pooled over the years. The other reason also I haven't touched this for a while, because I was making sure the clear was good and settled so that we don't have to worry about any possible issues. Not that I think there would be. This is more just me being overly cautious. Get some more in there. Okay. And this is the nice thing about washes, is that they do go on fairly easily and generally are trouble free, so long as you obviously thin them enough. I'm actually using a different brush for this than I usually use, as I couldn't find the one oil brush I use. I have a little spot brush that I like to use for just doing this, as it does help to make sure the brush doesn't get overly used, and I just want to protect it. Now this area up here, since the detailing is much more shallow, I'm not going to be as concerned with it, as ultimately when we come back to clean it up, it's going to lose some of its depth. Fortunately, that is one of the downsides of Raid's detailed kits, is when it comes to doing this type of work, it's far harder. And truth be told, I almost thought about not doing that, but I said, you know what, might as well, that way to ensure uniformity. Let's get in here along the neck. Okay. Yeah. Now this is one thing I was not expecting, was just some of the odd angles I'm going to have to twist this thing to get some of the areas, just because of all the different design choices they made on this thing. So, got that. Let's keep going along the sides. Now, depending on how long this ultimately runs, I may or may not show the cleanup, because if this video doesn't take too long to do, I may just clean it up off camera and do some of that stuff. Because obviously, so waiting around for this thing to dry and set, it's probably not going to be very interesting. So, we'll see where we are when we get there. We can always come back in, do more touch-up, trying to keep from blocking camera. You guys can see what I'm doing. May need to set this down for a second to fluff the paint, as it were. Ooh. Don't want to get that in there. Just trying to bring it all back to the side, because it's spread out a little. There we go. Okay. Now, if you're wondering why I'm using a little bit of a different brush holding technique for this, it's because partially it's to help provide a little more control, partially to help extend, and partially because for me it's a little more comfortable. And like everything, you gotta find out what works for you. Okay. May have lucked out and made just enough of my wash to do this. Maybe just enough. Which is always nice, as it does mean saving on paint. Coming close to the end now, so try and be careful not to hit those laser cannons. So I really don't want to have to reattach them yet again. It is. Surprise, surprise, I've managed to knock them off more than once. Okay. I think I got all those areas. Now let's get in here and get these outer pylons in some of this upper area that I missed. Give me a second. Gotta sort of readjust my positioning. So there. Okay. Just bring it. Oops, got a little on me. I'll clean that up in a minute. As far as consistency goes, you want to try and get it almost like water, like, you know, get it so basically so that the paint is just barely staying together. That, to me at least, is what I've found to be close to the best consistency. Maybe just a little bit thicker than that. Okay, oops, missed some areas in here. Give it another one over. There we go. Yeah, want to definitely give this a nice dirtied look. And also you can come back in and, you know, do any cleaning up we need to. Okay. Alright. Sure, get low in there. Okay. I think just about got it. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. I had to get that little bit of paint off me. So let's go ahead and grab the little top turret as I grab that up. Okay, so we got that all on. Oops, knocked some stuff over. Alright, let me go ahead and go clean this up. That actually ended up taking a lot less time than I thought it would. So unfortunately, I think this will be a little bit of a shorter stream than, so to help buy some time, as far as planning goes, as far as what's left to do, number one, obviously you're going to need to clean it up. I think I'll do that off camera. And then, yeah, because I think as far as streaming goes, I think this project's basically done. There's not a whole lot I can really, do on camera at this point. As far as stuff that's left is, once we get the wash cleaned up, I was going to put some pastels on in some of the areas where you would expect it, such as back in here and the nozzles, as well as the laser cannons. And actually, now that I think about it, I need to go ahead and wash up the area in here. That is, one would expect that area to get a lot of grime and not really ever get cleaned. So yeah, go ahead and clean up the wash, then put a flat coat on. Once that's done, put pastels on, seal those in with a sort of semi-gloss, and then I think, actually now that I think about it, probably the step after that will be to pull off the the masks on the windows. Do any touch up around there because I already noticed a couple spots that I put the mask over, so we'll need to touch those up. That'll be quick and easy. I'm not gonna worry too much about getting finished exactly the same. Once that's done, I was going to give the stand a bit of a polish, and then we'll solder in or attach it to the base and solder in the last bit of electricals. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let that dry up, and we'll pick it up again next time. Sorry about this being a shorter stream. So till then.